Hi all. Today we will discuss about humanism. In the last session, we have discussed on idealism in two separate sessions. Similarly, humanism also is going to be discussed in two separate presentations. So the focus of humanism, the name, the term humanism itself implies human beings. So the main focus of humanism as a philosophy of human factors or humanity or humane. So the matters dealing with human beings, that's the focus. That's of importance rather than a religious, divine, spiritual, or supernatural matters. So the school of philosophy, the thought of philosophy of humanism gave more emphasis to human beings. In idealism, we saw that ideas or spirit or mind is supreme. But here, according to humanistic point of view, the importance is to human factors, humanity, being humane. So that's the focus of humanism. And live and let live. That's another focal point. Every human beings has the right to live. At the same time, allow other fellow beings to live with dignity. So that human dignity, the human beings is the supreme creature in this world, and each individual, each human being, regardless of any sort of discriminations, as we see in our constitution, no discrimination with respect to gender, caste, religion, language, culture, etc. Similarly, the humanism, the humanistic philosophy stands for human dignity. So, on the basis of that, the focus of this philosophy is to live with dignity. Every human being, every person has the right to live with dignity, and at the same time allow other fellow beings to live with same dignity. So these are some of the focal points of focus of humanistic philosophy: human factors, humanity, humane, human dignity, etc. Then the major postulates or major principles, major considerations of humanism. We already seen that human beings are supreme creatures. So man is maker and master of his own destiny. So that's one of the major postulates. Maker and master. So each individual is able to develop his or her own destiny. That's their privilege. That's their capacity. Each individual has the capacity to develop his or her own destiny. And man is the measure of all things. Everything in this world can be for human beings. That's the man is the measure of all things in this world means. Because everything in this world shall be assessed in terms of human life, life of human beings, facilities for human beings. Then happiness lies in this world. So in idealism, we saw that there are two worlds, a physical world and a spiritual or ideal world, a world beyond this. But humanism does not believe in some other worlds. There is only single world. That is the world in which we are existing, means the present world. So happiness is in this world only. You are not need to wait for the happiness to come after this life or after completion of life in this world. Man should be free in this world for achieving happiness. So human beings are free in this world to achieve happiness. So happiness lies in this world and we are entitled. Each human being is entitled to achieve happiness in this world, in the present world. And there is a consideration of universal brotherhood. We already discussed that point. Each and every human being have the right to live with dignity. So all human beings throughout the world are related, brothers and sisters. Such kind of a relationship as we belong to a single species, human beings. So the concept of universal brotherhood. Then regarding knowledge or regarding education, knowing to learn is important than acquiring large amount of knowledge. So acquiring large amount of knowledge is meaningless. What is only meaning according to humanism is that knowing to learn. A learner has to learn how to learn, not any theories or principles or something like that. The methodology of learning, that is important. So these are some of the major postulates of humanism. Everything can be identified or described or utilized by using human beings as a scale. Happiness in this world only. Human beings have the right to achieve happiness, and all of us are part and parcel of a universal community. Then principles of humanistic education. So what are the principles? Let us see the major principles. The first and foremost principle is that self-directed learning. Learning shall be self-directed, directed by the learners, because learner has the right to choose what to study and how to study. That is self-directed learning, directed by the learner. Self-motivation is highly significant. If we are going to study something of interest or in the field in which we have some interest, then naturally we will be motivated. If learners are not motivated, that means the subjects or activities are not at all of interest to them. So self-motivation is highly significant because learners, according to humanism, follow self-directed learning. The materials, activities, subjects to their own interest. And how to learn is important. Again, we already said that process of learning, methodology of learning is important. Then regarding evaluation, self-evaluation is the only meaningful evaluation. It's another important viewpoint of humanism. That's absolutely a correct statement. Only when we evaluate ourselves, our own works, then only we can improve. The rights and wrongs, the marks, the grades assigned by somebody else has no meaning, or it has a very, very limited meaning. An A grade or a C grade in an examination, it's just a matter of time for some admission or some job, etc. And beyond that, it in no other way influence the life or learning of an individual. Only if we evaluate ourselves, our own actions, our own activities, our own learning, our own knowledge, then only we can learn further or correct our errors, or we can learn more. So that's why humanists advocated that self-evaluation is the only meaningful evaluation. Then both feeling and knowledge are important in learning. That's another remarkable uh, postulation by humanism, because most of the theories, even psychological theories, we can see that, or learning theories, the stress is on cognitive part, cognition, knowledge, less on feeling. But according to humanism, both feeling and knowledge are important in learning. I think feeling has more significance. Only when the topic, the content, the activity forms some connection with our feelings, emotions, then only it will become a permanent part of our cognition. All other things are preparation for examinations only. After writing exams, we will forget everything. But something that touches our emotions, something evoke a feeling or an emotion, will be memorized for a long time. So according to humanism, both feeling and knowledge are important in learning. And school, the education institution, the atmosphere of the school or education institution shall be fear free, because they proposes self-directed learning. Learner will have opportunity to choose what they have to learn and how they have to learn. So the institution shall be, the atmosphere of the school or education institution shall be fear-free in nature. Then only a learner can learn by themselves. So these are the principles of humanistic education. And there is a link for additional reading from Britannica. You can refer that for additional material. So the remaining aspects of humanism we can discuss in another presentation. So thanks for watching this presentation. Thank you all.